Hi parents, we're trying to actually establish a set of videos for people who are actually in English speaking. As you know, in Family Development Foundation, we actually have a whole lot of series for Chinese or especially Cantonese speaking parents. So now, okay, I'm trying to take a view from the point of parents who've been actually maybe living overseas, but now they are back in Hong Kong and they are raising very young children in a Chinese culture, maybe even with parents who have stayed in Hong Kong for a long while, and then they are very Chinese thinking. Or well, maybe not very, but then they have that Chinese culture in their hearts. Okay, I think the first thing you probably will face with is, hey, your children are not disciplined at all. For example, okay, my sister's daughter, when they are actually living overseas, when their children are 2 years old, they go outside, in a restaurant or fast food store, and they eat with their fingers. They have their whole face smuggled with food, and nobody really cares. Or even if they have food drop on the floor, people won't look at them and say, hey, how undisciplined your child is. And then they don't have their parents criticizing them as well. This is the sort of struggle probably you have if you are actually living in Hong Kong in a Chinese culture. Your parents will probably say, hey, you better have to discipline your child. He or she cannot eat with their hands. It's very dirty, etc., etc. Under those circumstances, I'm sure you will have a lot of struggle. The question here is actually how to balance, respect as well as discipline. In respecting your parents, you probably will allow them to say whatever they want, of course, but at the same time, you probably have to communicate with them, okay? Yes, you have your own way of thinking and why you let your child eat with their hands, and why you will probably tidy up later on rather than just leaving everything messy on the table. So I think communication with your parents and with the elder generation is very important when we struggle with this. The other thing is freedom and submission. They will probably say your child is not submissive enough. But at the same time, we know that to us, freedom is very important. However, may I remind you of something? There's always a boundary to freedom. The most important thing is if you walk around on the streets and if there's a car coming towards you, either you stop walking or the car has to stop. You can't have both things, right? So always, even we believe that freedom is very important. We always, or at the same time, respect our parents' thinking in terms of, yes, there has to be boundaries. Maybe, okay, I have to say, maybe their boundaries are different from ours. And at that point of time, we do have to, at the same time, chat with them, talk to them, and I may not be able to really convince them, but at least, we respect them and tell them what we're thinking. Okay, let's stop here and see whether we have other things to talk about next time. Bye-bye.